Hello, Reuven. It's lovely to see you again.
Hi, Dorothy. It's wonderful to see you as well.
Thank you. Now tell me, Reuven, what motivated you to develop the Bar-On EQI measure of emotional and social intelligence?
Well, I wanted to develop a method, a roadmap, a way of understanding those particular aspects of human behavior that impact, influence one's ability to be successful in life, to be very effective, to accomplish what they want to accomplish, to be successful. So this was one method of doing it. This was mapping out the major areas of one's ability that drive effectiveness and success in life.
Okay, thank you. And what does the EQI measure?
The EQI measures the basic components of emotional intelligence. These abilities, it's a set of abilities and competencies and skills that drive our ability to be very effective, or not that effective sometimes, and successful in life. And these 5 areas are, the first major area is our ability to look inward, to recognize our emotions, and to be aware of our feelings, and to express those feelings in a constructive manner, to be emotionally independent as well, and to develop our inner potential. And the second major area that the EQI measures is the interpersonal level, and that's our ability to be aware of how other people feel, to use that information to relate well with people in a cooperative and constructive manner as well. And the third major area is the ability, or our ability to manage and control emotions so they work for us and not against us in becoming more effective and successful in life. And the fourth major area is, in light of the fact that life is not a standstill situation, it's an ever-moving type of situation, is it measures our ability to adapt to changes in life, and to do it in a realistic and flexible and effective manner. And the fifth major area, it measures our ability to be self-motivated, so that we're able to relate well with people and adapt to changing situations in life, and to help us become successful. These are the major 5 areas. And all of these come together, of course, to help us become more effective and successful. They're all interrelated. There's a very high correlation between these 5 major areas.
Thank you. It's a self-report measure of emotional intelligence. How reliable is it?
This question is often asked, and I can just look at the number of studies. Today there's over 30 studies that I'm aware of in the literature that examined on tens of thousands of people worldwide exactly the question of validity and reliability, and what were called the psychometric strengths or properties of the EQI are more than adequate. And I think one of the reasons that it has such a high reliability for a self-report measure is that there's an inbuilt mechanism that identifies if the individual who's completing the EQI is trying to exaggerate in a more positive or more negative area of presenting themselves as being better than they are or worse than they are for certain reasons. And the software involved in the EQI identifies the extent to which they may be exaggerating, and then readjusts the scores to make them more accurate.
Right, thank you. Can we strengthen weak areas in emotional intelligence to improve one's ability to succeed in life?
Yes, in fact, this was my main intent when I developed the EQI, was to, first of all, create a valid scientific roadmap that would take a snapshot of the person's abilities to be effective and successful in life, based on the 5 areas that I just discussed. And so the first step would be to complete the EQI. The second step would to see where the person is, how strong they are in these 5 major areas, and then when it identifies weaker areas, this should guide the person doing the coaching or intervention to work on these particular areas that are weak. Like, for example, if the person is strong in most of the areas, but in one of the areas or 2 of the areas that are weak, this identifies those areas that should be worked on together in a coaching situation to improve it.
Okay, thank you. So what are your thoughts on cognitive behavioural coaching techniques for long-term sustainable behaviour change adopted in this e-learning program?
I think it's a very good approach. There are a number of approaches that coaches and consultants will use in a coaching situation to try to improve weaker areas. And I think CBC offers a unique and a very well-founded approach in that, I would say, these are the reasons as I see it, as I understand it. It's based on solid psychological theory that's tested. But it's not just solid psychological theory, it's theory that has been, we have evidence, we have a literature showing that these particular approaches, or the particular approach of CBC does work, and we see results. And so being a researcher, I look at results. I look at can you demonstrate that it does work, or it's better than other approaches. And I can say it is a very solid approach to use, and it's also the cognitive aspect works very well with certain emotional and social competencies. And so I think the 3 particular points being a solid psychological theory based, and then based on evidence that it does work, and then 2, to see things that complement one another, like the cognitive complements the emotional and social. So I think that this is definitely a good approach. This is your area of coaching, and I'm sure that you will expand more on that.
Yes, thank you very much. And thank you for your input to the e-learning course, and I hope and look forward to you joining us on one of our forums in the future.
Oh, it would be a pleasure.
Oh, lovely. Thank you again, Reuven.
Thank you.